Good morning, students. Today we are going to study 8th lesson, the dinner party. The country is India. A colonial official and his wife are giving a large dinner party. So, my dear children, this story is taking place in India. Okay, and one colonial official and his wife is giving a big party for their friends. They are seated with their guest. Who are seated with their guest? The colonial official and his wife. Army officers and government officials and their wives, and a visiting American naturalist in their spacious dining room. Who all were there for the party? Officers and government officials and their wives, and a visiting American naturalist is a foreigner, an American. He has come there for the party and he is a naturalist. Naturalist is the person, one who studies about animals and plants. So he also is there for the party. They are all sitting together in their spacious dining room. Spacious means very big dining room, which has a bare marble floor. That means it has got a beautiful marble floor, open rafters and wide glass doors opening to the veranda. It has got a long wooden beam and glass windows and glass doors which can be opened to the veranda. That means it is very beautiful and spacious, very well furnished dining room. They are all sitting. A spirited discussion springs up between a young girl who insists that women have outgrown the jumping on a chair at the sight of a mouse era, and a colonial who says that they haven't. What happened when they were sitting together? A discussion took place. One lady said that the women nowadays, they are not frightened of the rat. If they come, they don't jump and sit up. They are very courageous. But a colonial official said, no, it is not true. They are same. Women are same. Always there. If they get a little frightened, they shout. A woman's unfailing reaction in any crisis, the colonial says, is to scream. Usually, what do the ladies do if they see something or if they get angry? What do? They just scream, they shout. So, the official is telling that the ladies are same. Always they scream if they see something, or if they get angry, if they get frightened or anything. And while a man may feel like it, he has that ounce more of nerve control than a woman has, and that last ounce is what counts. Usually, the men they control, they may not scream, they have got some control, but ladies they don't have any control, they just scream. Who said all this? An official. The American does not join in the argument but watches the other guest. What is the American doing? He's not speaking or not joining with them for the discussion, but he's just sitting and watching all the guests. As he looks, he sees a strange expression come over the face of the hostess. What happened when he was watching everyone? He found that some strange expression, strange facial movements in the face of the hostess, the official's wife. She's staring straight ahead. Staring means open the eyes like this way, open wide the eyes, and she's looking straight. Her muscles contract slightly when we see something and when we get frightened. What happens? The muscle we very strongly we open our eyes and we get frightened. With a slight gesture, she summons a servant standing behind her chair and whispers to him. Summon means called. Slowly, she called the servant who was standing behind her and whispered something slow voice. She said something to the servant. The servant's eyes widened. Now, same like the official's wife, the servant also opened his eyes and he quickly leaves the room. And what did the servant do? He just went out of the room immediately. Of the guests, none except the American notices this. What happened? The American, he was sitting quietly there. He noticed something that a servant placed a bowl of milk on the veranda just outside the open doors. He saw the servant bringing a bowl of milk and keeping it in the veranda. The American comes to with a start. In India, milk in a bowl means only one thing: bait for a snake. Bait means the food that we give to the animals to just bring them close to the food. Okay. So in India, usually the people, if they pour milk in the bowl and keep outside, that means it's for the snake. He realizes there must be a cobra in the room. Now he understood there is a cobra in the room. He looks up at the rafters. He looked to the, usually we see the snakes near the wood, near the door and all. So he looked on the raft, but there was no snake. But they were bare. Bare meant there was nothing. Three corners of the room are empty. He looked around in the room. All the corners, they are all empty. And in the fourth, the servants are waiting to serve the next course. The people, the servants are standing one corner, other three corners are empty where the servants are standing. There also, it was looking empty. There is only one place left under the table. So this man looked around in the room and nowhere he could find the snake. Now only one place is left, that is the under the table. His first impulse is to jump back and warn others. First, he thought he would jump just to move back and tell to people that there is a cobra under the table. But he knows the commotion would frighten the cobra into striking. But he knows the if he shout, the people may get up and run, and it may be commotion in the room, and snake may get frightened and it may bite the people. And he knows about the snake also because he's a naturalist who studies about the animals and plants. So he knows the nature of a cobra. So what did he do? He speaks quickly. What did he do? The tone of his voice, he arrested that it sobers everyone. He opened his mouth to say something, such a big noise, there came pin drop silence, and people all were given lot of attention to him. I want to know just what control everyone at this table has. I will count 300. That's 5 minutes. And not one of you is to move a muscle. What did he say? He said, I'm going to count up to 300. That is just 5 minutes. I may take 5 minutes to count up to 300. So what they supposed to do, all the guests had to sit pin drop silent. They should not even move their muscles of their body. Quietly, they all must sit. Those who move will forfeit 50 rupees ready. He said those who move, they have to give 50 rupees back to him. So it was like a challenge for the people. The 20 people sit like stone image while he counts. What did the people do? The guests? They sat like a stone. He's saying 208. He was counting 1, 2, 3. He reached 208. When out of the corner of his eyes he sees the cobra emerge and make for a bowl of milk. What did the cobra do? Because it was pin drop silence, nobody was moving. The cobra slowly came out and moved towards the milk. Screams ring out as He jumped to slam the veranda door safely shut. What happened? Once the cobra went out, he screams ring out as he jumps to slam the veranda door safely shut. What did he do? He jumped immediately and shut the veranda door. You were right, Colonial. The host exclaims. The government official shouted, saying that, Colonial, you are right. A man has just shown us an example of perfect control. Man, he could control the naturalist, the American could control whole group, and he even controlled himself. He did not shout when he saw that he understood that there was a snake. He shout? No, he didn't shout. He was quiet, and he made others also to be quiet. Just a minute, the American says, turning to his hostess. Miss Rhiannon, how did you know that a cobra was in the room? So the American is asking to the Mrs. Vanes is the official's wife, asking, how do you know that cobra was inside the room? A faint smile lights up the woman's face as she replies, because it was crawling across my foot. Where was the snake? The snake was just crawling, it was moving across, crossing her leg. So she understood that snake was there inside. How did she understand? Because snake was under her, it was just crossing over her feet. So now, children, can you tell who has got the control, whether the lady or man? The lady, because sh- imagine you are sitting and one snake is coming on your leg. What will you do? You may scream and shout, is it not? But this lady, did she shout? No, she didn't shout. She was very quiet, calm, and quiet. She did not move. So she saw that snake is there. If she scream, snake may get frightened, and all others will get frightened. So she just told the servant to keep the milk outside the door and send the snake out. So this is the story. So who has got the control? Who can control their anger or their emotions? Women or men? Both. Both men and women, they can control their emotions. It may not be same for everyone. Some can control, some may not control. So we cannot judge only men have control. No, even ladies also can control their emotions and their feelings. Okay, this is a story.